So to deal with it, we start avoiding each other. We start avoiding each other because one person will start projecting their personal dissatisfaction. And you see that when we are stressed, we tend to pick up on every little thing that the other person does. It sort of magnifies every little issue within the relationship. So we'll start avoiding each other. We'll start snapping at each other. Nothing or anything the other person does is not good enough. It's not good enough. So the home actually becomes toxic. And when you close, as she said, in a lovely relationship, instead of wanting to go home, to go and sort of distress from another day, you see that situation as another stressful place. So then you start avoiding the home, you start avoiding the individual, you start avoiding the home altogether. And that itself becomes also stressful. So then the cycle, it becomes a cycle. You're having stress from outside, there's no place to go and calm down. You see the other individual, you are getting a panic attack. Hey, well, so what is going to happen today? How am I supposed to be behaving around this person? Everything I say, the person takes offense. Nothing I do is good enough. Then these are indicators that something might be wrong somewhere. Or I start taking abuse as though it's part of it. So I learn to accommodate. No, that means there's something very, very wrong somewhere. It needs to be looked at.
Thank you. So the moment you start avoiding wanting to sit somewhere and chat with friends and go home late, you want to work when there's no work at the workplace, you snap at each other and all that, then something should tell you that there is something wrong somewhere and you need to work at it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's quite interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a comment or a question, you can put it in the chat box. When there is time, I'll do some reading with that. So, Dr. Dame, Ima Edison, your hand is up. Please drop it. Is it possible to have a stress-free relationship? Is it with what is going on? Because from what you've said, just say left and right, family, school, work, everything. Is it possible to have this lobby thing? Is it possible to have a stress-free one?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Atta. You see, stress, I would say stress is normal, and stress is part of our life. As human beings, we need some little level of stress even to be able to live our lives and to achieve our goals and objectives. Yeah, so having a stress-free relationship is subjective, and it depends on the situation and the angle that we are coming from. Because what will cause stress in one's relationship may not cause stress in the other person's relationship. So I wouldn't say that you can have a stress-free relationship. You need that level of stress in your relationship so that you can be on your toes. But you see, we have some major causes of stress that should be dealt with the relationship, else it can kill or destroy the relationship. But to say that there's a stress-free relationship is like saying that you live without drinking water or you live without taking in air, which is impossible. Every relationship has some level of stress, which is even helping the relationship to move on to the next level. Because without stress, or even, you see, I always say that your mind is your health. The way you think about issues tends to affect you. Even the fact that you are thinking that, hey, someone loves me, someone is thinking, it's like you are going to meet your lover for the first time. Even the dress you wear, the shoe you wear, even the perfume you use itself can even cause stress. So to live a stress-free relationship one, I'm yet to see a relationship that has no stress. It could be good or bad, but at least there's a level of stress in the relationship.
Okay, thank you very much. So we need a bit of positive stress to make us think and behave well in the relationship. In short.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
We need a little bit of stress to make us behave correct. No misbehavior. No other. Interesting. But when it gets overboard, then I think that is when it becomes problematic. And for that matter,
Yes.
Dr. Dixon, can stress kill a relationship? Can it destroy a relationship?
I think that from all the discussion we are having, or changes properly, it definitely can kill a relationship where two different people coming together to speak, and depending on people's background and nothing is done about it, definitely one person within the relationship is lost, and not everybody is able to tolerate those sort of changes. Definitely kill a relationship, but it's also only a negative. Sometimes these challenges brings two people together to have good communication, and then when as you climb the mountains together, as you descend the valleys together, once you are able to break through, you realize.
Is it everybody on me alone?
If we navigate well, we do see growth. It brings about damage or a breaking in relationship. Thank you.
Thank you. I missed most of what you said. I think my internet here is a bit problematic, but I'm sure our participants heard you. At this
All right,
point,
I'll just summarize what I said. All right. Well, what I was saying is that we shouldn't perceive stress only as negative or coming out to get us. That when we are able to navigate and manage, and it builds each individual rather than disintegration. Although, yes, if it's not navigated well, then the relationship can definitely disintegrate.
Okay, so in short, it's a workable situation. If it is not worked on, that is when the relationship will kill itself. Okay, now at this point, I want us to discuss men and women, so that I would ask my fine woman here to tell me about the reactions and response to the situation when women are stressed. When we are done, I would ask Dr. Damen to add something in case you decide to leave that one out. And when he's finally done, I'll ask him about men, and when he also leaves something out, you also point it out to him that men behave this way. So let me start with you, Fosia. If a woman is stressed, what are the common reactions and responses to situations?
Okay, are there gender differences in how we respond to stress? Yes, we are individual people, we are different people. As women, well, generally women, we tend to be more emotional based when dealing with issues of stress. So it is more likely that the woman will be more open to talk about it, to engage. So we want to talk. We want to talk about our issues. We want to feel heard. Well, sometimes our husbands understand it as we are nagging, we are talking all day, but that is also some of the ways that we tend to deal with our stress. And then, yes, our stressors, we want like our men who are able to sort of compartmentalize what is going on. When we are stressed in one area, it tends to affect all the other areas.
That is when an offense that I committed 5 years ago, you pull it up.
Well, maybe.
Okay,
maybe.
go ahead.
Maybe because you are not responding to you are. It also comes down with expectations. Maybe you're also not responding to me the way I wish you would respond to me. So yeah, then I'll start bringing up everything, and then you did this, and then you did this the other day, and you didn't. Yes, because everything for us is linked to everything. However, I dare say that when it comes to stressful situations, because we are more emotion focused, we tend to be able to deal with the stresses a bit better than our men. I dare say.
Okay.
We are able to then, well, yes, because a woman as well, we're also more likely to talk about what the issues are. We are more likely to go for help, or you more find us in the churches, in the community, trying to express, trying to deal with our stresses, as compared to our men who will tend to more isolate and then like to push things down. The men.
Okay, so let Dr.
Yes.
Dixon add something to what you said. Then Dr. Dami will see if you've left something out. Dr. Dixon, would you like to add something?
All right.
Please go ahead.
With that, our social upbringing, how we have been brought up, also comes to influence. We know that men have been taught not to be the
Oh my goodness.
to swallow it. However, if the man gets aggressive, it is perceived that they are only being a man. They resort to unhelpful ways of coping, like drinking and staying out of home and stuff like that. But the women are more expressive, and like Abner said, they would seek help better than men would seek any help at all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So women are more emotional than us men, so you want to express yourself and talk about it more often and be more willing to seek for help. Okay, let's hear about the men. Dr. Dami.
Yeah, thank you very much.
How do we react and respond to stress? But okay, hold on. Is there something that the women have left out that you wanted to add before you come to men in general? Or they've killed it?
Oh, they have said a lot, but I want to bring the men's opinions on board.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, the men's opinions on board. You see, as a clinical psychologist, a lot of men that have attended to are going through a lot of marital distress and problems, mostly because of the kind of treatment their wives is giving to them. For instance, there was a man whose wife decided not to give him sex for like 6 months. And you see in Abraham, yeah, so serious. And you see in Abraham Maslow's theory on the basic need, some literature will tell you that sex is part of the basic need of man. So when it comes to issue of stress, the way women see stress and men see stress, and even what causes stress, may a little bit be different. Like what Dr. Dixon said, coming from that angle, because of our socialization and our culture, men have been trained to harbor things in them. Because even if a man is in an abusive relationship and he goes to report or goes somewhere to tell their friend, they'll be like, it's who on our wife and shows to say, when you're Obama, our wife to say, master, show your manly powers. So that feelings of not expressing yourself, trying to harbor things in yourself, trying to keep things to yourself can sometimes cause stress. And another thing also is low sex drive or sexual performance, where in a relationship, that is in marriage, a wife decides to use sex as a weapon against the husband. It creates a lot of stress. The man may go to work, he can't concentrate, we have a lot of mistakes here and there, some men, but not all men. But you see, most of the things that maybe cause stress in men currently, maybe the financial crisis. Even now, schools have reopened, looking for money to pay school fees, to do this, to do that. You see, though women are supposed to help us or women support us in marriages, a lot of the time, it depends on us. And as a man, you are the head of the family. So when that responsibility is questioned, or you're not able to meet societal expectation, it creates a lot of stress in you.
Are you done, Dr. Dami?
Yeah, so you see that the man will be going through all kinds of stress, some because of financial problems, because of the attitude of the wife towards him at home, and sometimes to work-related issues, yeah, can cause stress. And you see, when also we have a way of expressing our stresses. You see, sometimes we easily get angry. A woman may cry, but if a man is crying, you'll be like, why are you crying? So that crying will turn to anger, where the man will be talking harshly towards the wife or the children. But you go deep into the situation, you do an assessment, and realize that he or she is going through some level of sorrow in front of the wife.
Okay. But has he left something out with regards to men?
Well, yes, I think when he was speaking about the socioeconomic pressures on men and how that can contribute to stress in men. Fortunately or unfortunately, recently, we as women, we are being forced to share more and more in that, in terms of finances, in terms of school season, yes. So more and more we are sharing in those stresses, which is contributing to our stress levels also going up very high. And as I said initially, Dr. Adami mentioned the issue of sex. For women, stress, when I'm stressed, is linked to everything, as opposed to you who can differentiate that this is different to everything. So I believe for both of us, maybe we need to talk, we need to communicate with each other and find out that, okay, what works when I'm stressed? This indicates that I am stressed. So how do we help each other? As Dr. Erickson also said earlier, that when we are able to come together and climb those mountains together, then it builds a sort of bonding in between us so that we are better able to deal with other stresses. Because the stress, they will keep coming. And today in our socioeconomic situation, I don't believe that the finances fall to a large extent our husbands anymore. No, we are both sharing in that burden, and indeed we are both sharing in that stress. Just that because we are individual, we are different, the way we respond to it is different as well. Even the neurochemistry is slightly different in the way we respond to stress as men and as men. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Dixon, the way you are shaking your head, you would want to add something, or?
Well, I just the comment that Abna puts across, that in this modern time are equally dependent on them. You know, women are bringing a lot to the table financially. And then concerning the issue of sex, I don't think it is only the women who do not give it. Sometimes the men also. But if the relationship is good, sources of bonding that build a relationship together, that's for a woman upset, translates everything. And I say, well, angry with myself, a woman would most likely not be able to do to answer the problems. And once the problems have been laid to rest, then it's easier to continue. Allude to. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dixon. We can't run away. We can't avoid stress. It is part of us. There's a small positive one that makes us think and behave well. And when it's on the high level, it becomes destructive, can spoil the relationship. You can make me stay at work up to 10 o'clock as if I'm working. Meanwhile, I'm not working. I'm waiting for the woman to sleep and go home. And all that. Okay, and we men respond in different ways. The women are more emotional and would like to talk and bring 5 years history into all parts of making the case. But men would like to keep it inside. And some of them get explosive and all that. That being said, does not mean that it's not solvable. We can manage it and we can work at it and make our relationships much, much better. So let's go into how we can manage it, what we can do to get it right. So Dr. Dixon, what do we do when we find ourselves in a relationship that is stressful? How do we deal with it? What can we do to manage it?
All right, I think I will start from the point that must take responsibility for managing themselves. All right. If you're unable to manage your own stresses, we've to between you. And in managing our stress, self-care, taking care of your physical health and well. I like to make this analogy that if you have malaria, you are feeling unwell, and you are asked to pick a cup, seems like too much, and it becomes stressful for you. But if you are in good health, that's no problem at all. So ensuring that we are self-caring, and self-caring means that you are eating well, you are drinking adequate water, you are physically active, you are engaging in some leisure activities. And then being mindful. We always like to see the speck in other people's eyes. We don't see the log in our own. Every now and then introspecting and checking in with yourself. Am I doing okay? How am I feeling about this? How is this going? And so on and so forth. Helps you put things in good perspective. Engaging in activities that the things that are chill for you. For somebody, it is sleeping. For somebody, it is hitting the road and exercising. For another person, it is listening to music, and so on and so forth. Step out with your friends or guy friends just for a bit, so that you go out, you are refreshed, and then you come back home, haven't shed off those pressures. Once you are able to shed that off, as a pair, and deal with whatever problems may be existing in the relationship. So I believe that taking personal care of yourself plays a huge role for you to be able to bring it in. The pair is better able to work through what. Thank you.
This is good. Introspection, do a self-introspection. That what are you doing right and wrong? What you can make it work, taking good care of yourself. And indulging in helpful activities that are exciting, that will take the stress off you. Not engaging in drugs and alcohol too much. And knowing that there is a problem that you have to work at. Abna, would you like to add something?
Yes, Dr. Martha, as Dr. Erickson said, you need to take care of yourself. You need to be able to also manage your expectations of the other party in the relationship. A lot of the time, we put too much pressure on the other person, expecting them to be our savior, sort of, to be able to relieve all that stress, which in itself puts unnecessary stress on the other party. And then we also need to be sort of in touch with reality. Today, we live in a world where we are supposed to be perfect. We are aiming for perfection. I need to be the perfect mother. I need to be the perfect corporate worker. I need to go to school. I need to do this. Are we really able to declutter, or is it all together? So I'm telling the brain, hey, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. There's so much to do. So I'm sending myself literally into panic. we need to be able to manage our expectations. We need to be able to declutter what is happening when. We sort of have a plan for our lives. And we also need to be aware of the fact that after all the planning and everything has been done, what happens is life. Life happens. We cannot run away from the stresses. How are we managing it? We also need to be able to communicate to our spouses. Don't expect somebody to read your mind and know that today I am stressed, so I want to talk. So make yourself available. No, it doesn't work like that. And we also need to find out what works for us and be able to communicate it so that I don't go to the seminar and I'm told that, okay, this is what works for stress. So automatically, women are emotionally based. So you want to talk, let's talk. No, we are still individual. So what works for me might not work for the next person. We also need to be able to communicate in clear language to our partners what works and not put too much expectation on them and be able to manage the realities of life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Damin.
Dr. Atta.
What would you add?
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to start from the expectations issue. You see from afternoon, we are talking about the fact that stress is affecting our body, our mood, and our behavior. So from that premise, we need to take good care of ourselves. We need to make sure that we eat very well. At least literature has shown that we need to have very good balanced diets so that we're able to get certain nutrients that will help us to get a lot of energy. So in the relationship, what I would say is that in a relationship, there's the need for us to respect each other. So when you are dating someone, even in marriage, you have to respect each other. The moment the respect isn't there, then stress starts coming in because you will not be transparent to each other. And also, we need to avoid keeping secrets. You see, the moment you try to keep secrets from each other, you are trying to bring stressful relationships, stressful ideas and issues into the relationship, especially where even the other partner can't use the other partner's mobile phone for a day. With so many passwords and a lot of things being kept secret from the other partner, it creates a problem. And also, there's a need for us also not to have some kind of negative comparison of our partners with other people's partners. The moment you don't appreciate or you think that your partner isn't good and other people's partners are better, you tend to experience that stressful feelings and that stressful environment. And we have to at least talk and communicate very, very, very well. If there's any issue, we have to discuss it. Whatever is causing a problem in the marriage or the relationship, you have to always discuss it with the other partner. And of course, as Dr. Dixon said, you need to make yourself happy. We always say that nobody can make you happy unless you yourself. And think positively about whatever situation that you find yourself in, because you see, stress sometimes can start from the mind. The way you think about issues, the way you evaluate issues, the way you appraise issues can cause stress. So in a relationship, let's always discuss issues. Whatever is bothering you, don't discuss it with people outside. Discuss with the person you are staying with, because he is the person who can best solve the problem for you. So I would say that we need to trust each other in relationship, maintain very good mental health, physical health, and also communicate effectively with each other so that we can be able to manage our stress. And even as partners, maybe one Saturday you can take a stroll together, you can go for jogging, you can go for some swimming lessons. All these things can help you to manage stress in relationship. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I saw Abna laughing when he mentioned the mobile phone. The mobile phone matter there, Dr. Dami, I beg you. The mobile phone matter there is another matter on its own. And I'm not sure that that debate, whether to make it open or not open, I don't think that debate will ever finish. But I mean, there is an issue of trust within partners, and how they will go with it is another matter. That one, I think that we have to design a fine topic and discuss that one and see how that one will go. But for some of us, my kids even know my password. How they got to know, I don't know. So my phone, I don't touch it again. I leave it and they play with it. So for some of us, we leave our phones, but others too, and they are going to the bathroom cries in their pocket. So, so more for matter. But all that said, for me, communication is a very important thing that we can use to manage. And we don't think that we are reading the mind. I thought that I'm thinking that you should know that is the communication bit that creates problem. Let's be specific, clear. And again, we should not keep secrets from our partners, not to do negative comparison, which promotes stress and creates problems. So these are some of the ways. And of course, be realistic in your plans and declutter a whole lot of ideas in your mind. And they've said quite a lot. There are a few comments here, quite a lot actually. Let me see if I can read some and pick out the questions from them. Hope we'll get the slides. And Dr. Dixon said, these are free presentations, so there are no slides. Thank you. And that is what I would have said in the way. Elikem asked, good afternoon. Please, I would like to know if there are variations in behavioral patterns of men and women and some signs to look out for in either gender. I think that question has been addressed in other presentations, particularly when Dr. Fusua was talking. Abna, would you like to reiterate your points that you made on that?
Yes, as I said, we are different. Even the literature says that our brain chemistry, the neurochemistry is different in how we react, how men react to stress and how women respond to it. Even in brain activation areas, there are some differences in it. So as we have said continuously, women, we like to engage, talk about the primary stress hormones, and then there's a third hormone, the oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone that women produce more. So we tend to seek out more social relations aside our socialization in dealing with stress. And then the men also tend to react more. So they have a higher reaction to stress because they do not get as much oxytocin being released to counteract the effect of the epinephrine and the cortisol. So yes,
hold on. Men react more, but we don't like talking. You women can talk continuously for 1 week throughout the night. Man will not sleep. How do you compare that point? So because he's stressed. So how do you put that together?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is men have the time that men may act may come out with higher levels of aggression and unhealthy coping behaviors as compared to the women. We are more emotional based, so we want to hear you. We want you to listen to us. Let me talk. Let me get it out of my system. So yes, when you go to the church on Wednesday, you'll find more women there because we are taking all our stress, all our emotional issues there. Well, at least you can go and cry to Jesus. If you won't listen to me at home, I can go there and cry, oh Jesus, to get some of the stress out. Whereas men will be, they will tend to more socially isolate and try to hold it more in. And then perhaps deviate the reaction into something else. So they might engage in other sports to get rid of that energy as compared to. So we are different. Even the brain chemistry is different. We are totally different.
Okay, that difference is clear anyway.
Of course.
Moses Charis Tete asked, please, what is the difference between stress, anxiety, and fear? We've explained what stress is, anxiety and fear. Dr. Dami, would you touch briefly on that for him?
Okay, thank you very much. So you see, in the literature, both we have stress, anxiety, depression, and those kinds of things. You see, when you are anxious, indirectly you are going through stress. When you have any phobic or when you are afraid of something, that thing is indirectly also causing you stress. So the way you respond to that thing that is causing that behavior is what is the stress, and your appraisal of that thing which is unknown. So you see, when it comes to anxiety, it's like what will happen tomorrow is what is causing the anxiety today. So the way in future or things that will happen in the next minute, or sometimes particularly things that are there, and the way you are trying to interpret it is what is causing the anxiety. So for instance, there are some people, they are afraid of flying in the skies. So the moment they even hear the word aeroplane, then their body is responding to it. There's that panic attack, there's that reaction. Yes, so it is linked to stress. Yeah, so that is it. And you see, fear is an emotional response to a specific thing. So some people are afraid of maybe cockroach. Some people are afraid of maybe
Lizards.
lizard. Some people are afraid of certain specific things. Some people can't even speak in public. So anytime they're supposed to perform in public, they have that bodily symptoms that they exhibit. Yes, and it's linked to stress. So most of the time, when you are going through anxiety, you are indirectly also going through stress. So what is causing anxiety is causing the stress.
Okay, thank you. Well explained there. Fred says, what is the role of religion in the management of stress? Just like Abna said, when you go to church on Wednesday, you find a lot of us there, a lot of women, because that is the way. But I'll allow Dr. Dixon to touch briefly on that. What is the role of religion in the management of stress? I think it's a good way to vent out all that you can't vent on your man or your partner, if I should say. But anyway, let's hear from you, Dr. Dixon.
All right, thank you, Dr. Arthur. I would say that religion, when it comes to stress, sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. Is that yes, a lot of people seek solace in religion, either in being fellowship in church houses or in religious places of gathering, listening to fullness infused in them. So it is a community that they run to cope with the stress. However, sometimes the religion itself also becomes a source of stress. Maybe the source of putting fright in one's mind. So it goes both. The important thing is not so much, but that people's belief systems, what you believe in, you own, if it is a positive kind of belief, and for example, terrible state, but even though I walk through the valley, I'm hopeful, I fear no evil. It's a driving force, something positive from the arena of religion. But if the person is going to see the religious leader who is that it is your father's people, your mother's people, your uncle, you have done somebody a wrong, and you, that definitely can be helpful. That can only increase your stress, your stress levels. Dr. Alpha.
Thank you very much. And so for me, I say my small BK that I did years ago is what I live by. You can't put fright in me because the quotations, just like the one that you just recited, we live by some of them, and it is good for relieving of stress. But to go to those who would tell me all my ancestors are part of our problem, they increases the stress. So Fred, religion has a role depending on your belief system, but read the Bible on your own, understand it, and you should be able to help yourself. Christina the Kings, I think this question is an interesting question, but we'll see how it goes. Abna, she says, how best can you deal with stress, which has physical manifestation, like men who like to throw blows? But anyway, this time, like being in a state of confusion and insomnia. How best can you deal with stress, which has physical manifestation, like being in a state of confusion and insomnia? So if stress is creating so much confusion and insomnia for you, how do you deal with it?
Please seek help.
Straight
you
away.
can talk about seek help. It's very important. Straight away. Because now you are saying that the body is breaking down. You've gotten into the exhaustion stage. Your coping mechanisms have failed. You need to go to the hospital. Stress can cause a lot of physical ailments. It affects your heart. It breaks down your immunity. In fact, it affects the whole body's ability to cope. So if you are getting to that stage, please seek help. Seek help in dealing with the underlying cause. What is the underlying cause? What is causing the stress? Seek help immediately. Go to a counselor, go to your primary physician. Let's look at the underlying cause. What is causing the stress? So if you have reached that stage, please, my advice is that seek help. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness. Seeking help is a sign of strength. Being able to even notice that I have reached the end of my coping mechanism and I need help is a sign of strength. Before stress kills you, stress can kill, so seek help.
Thank you very much, Abna. You took the word out of my mouth. This caller says the letter D, a lot of them is associated with stress. One is death, discomfort, distortion, debt. I've forgotten others that he mentioned, but stress, you can't underestimate what stress can do. It can kill, actually. It can cause you to be in debt. So Christina, if really you are at that point, an advice is that seek help immediately. Seek help immediately. Mental health unit, your question, you need to do some serious tutorials. Anyway, he's asking, how do you tolerate an assisted partner? And I know you cannot tolerate. They are very something else. How do you tolerate an assisted partner? Dr. Dixon, are you there? Abna, did you hear me? Our internet is not helping. Dr. Dami.
Hello, Doc.
There's a question here, and the person is asking, I want to know how to tolerate a narcissistic partner. And these people are partners, I know they are very, very manipulative. At the end of the day, they want to destroy the partner, but this person wants to tolerate. So I don't know how you respond to that.
Yeah, it's not easy staying with a lady or a guy who has this kind of personality. Though, yeah, Hello.
Go ahead, Dr. Ami.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Atta. It's not easy to have a relationship where one partner or one party has this kind of behavior, personality behavior. It can be very, very stressful, where the person wants extreme attention. Everything should be about me. I'm the center of attraction. You have to call me every time. The person sees himself as the superior person. He has all the knowledge in the world. Whatever he says is final. You see, such a person, you need to seek for professional help. The person should be taken through psychotherapy for him to have cognitive restructuring of all those negative ideas and thoughts that he or she may be having. So both partners should understand the condition. Because if you report or you take the one with that behavior to the psychologist and he's giving the therapy, you, the one, when he comes home, you might do things that will also reinforce that behavior back. So there's a need that both the man and the woman seek for professional help, where the man or the woman who has the problem will be treated, and the other part will be given certain management and guidelines on how to stay with the person. Else there'll be confusion and there'll be problem throughout the whole relationship, because the person will always get angry, will always not be content, and there'll be a lot of problems in the relationship. Yeah, no. Some time ago, I had a lady who had this problem of obsessive compulsiveness. She was extremely neat. And the husband couldn't sleep. Too neat. Anytime they have an affair, she has to change the bed sheets on percent. And if the man uses the washroom and she's about to use the washroom, she will flash and flash and flash and flash. You can just imagine how many times she brushes her teeth when she's brushing her teeth in the morning. So you need to seek professional help. So I advise the person that he needs to take that partner to see a professional for advice and counseling.
Okay, thank you. Well said. Batuta Margaret wrote, my brother's girlfriend, whom he had a baby, thinks my brother is cheating on her. Okay, the brother's girlfriend, okay. She took BBT to end her life, thinking that would solve the problem, but unfortunately could not die. Does that person has the tendency of committing another suicide? Yes, if she does not seek for help. Yes, Batuta, yes, she has that tendency if she does not seek for help. So I would strongly suggest that you seek for help. You support this individual to seek for help. Walk into any of our facilities. This time, the regional and district hospitals have mental health units. Walk in there, look for the unit, and tell your story. And now, Dr. Addison Mobwa. Dr. Addison.
I think you couldn't or somebody suicide. They have attempted suicide. So we'll encourage you thoughts they had that provoked them to attempt suicide is probably lingering on and needs to be uprooted. You need to seek professional help to delve into this solution to challenges that they've overwhelmed them so much that their lives. So please help them seek the correct help that they need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pascal has an interesting way of dealing with his stressful situation. He wants an answer. He's saying that is staying away from home during a stressful situation, a temporary remedy, or heightening it, or rather heightening it. For so you didn't hear me, let me repeat. Is staying away from home during stressful situation a temporary remedy, or rather heightening it? So staying at work till 10 p.m., pretending to be working, Is it a temporary remedy or I'm worsening it? That is what Pascal wants to know.
Okay. It might be a temporary remedy. It is not an adaptive remedy though, because you staying at home, the problems when you go at home, they will not stay away from home either. They will still be there. So the best thing for you to do is to address the issue and then see how best you can both come to a compromise. As Ed said earlier on, when you're able to face your stresses head on, it's actually an avenue for growth. So stress is not all that bad. It's actually an avenue for growth. But then you running away from it, the stresses will always be there. The stresses, they will be there until you are willing to sit down. So staying away from the house, you are just sort of buying time. But the stressor will be there. You will need to deal with it. Even if temporarily, you stay away from home. So you come home today and I will not talk about it. As you said earlier on, tomorrow something else will come up and that issue will come back up. You cannot run away from the issue. We need to sort it. We need to be able to face it, talk about it, and find ways of dealing with it. If we can deal with it, yes, find constructive ways of handling it. But staying away from the home because of the stresses, no. Actually, in some instances, it's even worsen it because I'll start feeling isolated. I'll start feeling like you are ignoring me. You are not validating what I am feeling. Or perhaps you do not even respect what I am feeling. So no, it's not the best.
Okay. Pascal, go home and communicate. Go home and communicate. In short, when you communicate and the problem is addressed, we all become better persons and there is peace. It's like getting drunk.
Yes.
Do away with your problem. You wake up and the problem is still there. The problem will not solve itself. You have to solve it yourself.
It will not.
So go home.
And you might be even adding the issue of alcoholism to it. So go home, face the issue.
Juliana says, Fatima Bamba, mobile phone matter should be saved for a whole topic one day. Juliana says, Dr. Dami, the mobile phone table you are shaking there, the man will beat you. It's from a woman. Oh.
I will not shake. I will not shake it again.
My own sister also made another comment. She says, Dr. Mankwa, on the phone matter, curiosity will kill woman. Okay. Highway. Why don't you write your name sometimes so that we can mention your names and know who you are? He says, as for the mobile phone, I suggest you don't attempt to know what is happening on the partner's phone. In fact, your stress level may be stressor. So this mobile phone matter, we will definitely go to it. It will be an interesting topic. We'll have to look at it and talk about it. Yeah, Brefi, can I get the slides sent to my email? Hey, yeah, this is an order. Can I get a slide sent to my email and you left your order? This is a free presentation. It does not come with slides. And Isabella Sakite also sent a similar one, so I will not respond to that. Techno KH6, I think your question, please say, what is the best way to ease stress? I think that has been addressed. Winifred Yao, great presentation to begin the year. Thanks and happy new year to you all. Many happy returns, Winifred. Oh, my girlfriend is here. Sicho, too much breaks in the sound making discussions not enjoyable. Yes, it's the network, but we'll do our best and see how it goes next time. It's a major challenge for us, actually. This question, Dr. Dami, I'll throw it to you. How can you deal with stress of loneliness? Daniel Akrofi asks, he is too lonely and he's becoming too stressful. Daniel, we are all lonely, but let's hear what Dr. can say.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to add something to what the person previously asked on how you can deal with stress and how you can do it. You can have no stress in your life. You see, last time I was telling a couple that, you see, all of them should be blind and dumb. So blind means that whatever your partner does, pretend as if you've not seen it. And whatever your partner says, pretend as if you've not heard it, so that there'll be peace in the relationship. And also think positively about whatever happens in the relationship. So in terms of the loneliness, we have to ask Daniel Akrofi what he wants to know about how to do stress of loneliness. Is it that as in not having a partner, or I want to find out, of course, from what he's saying, is not having a partner. So I would advise that, you see, there's a concept in sociology that man is a social being, social animal. We all need each other. Sometimes you need someone to talk to. You need that dialogue. Yes, and the more you talk to people, the more you interact with people, you are able to deal with loneliness. So I would advise that he should engage himself. He should be more interactive. He should have good friends. You see, now there's a lot of platforms where you can join, that you can have good discussions. You can learn a lot of things from people who are well seasoned, of course, like this platform where we are all sharing ideas. So I would advise that you can't always be lonely. You need at least to have people around you. You need friends. Because sometimes if you are always lonely, there's a statement that the devil finds work for idle hands. That's where those issues of anxiety, depression, and stress will be coming into your mind. So I would say that he should engage himself with people. He should be more lively with others. He should socialize with people, so that that stress, that loneliness will bring, to be able to overcome that stress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Daniel, socialize. Involve yourself in social activities that are useful, that are exciting, and make some friends. Avoid places that wouldn't be helpful, but socialize. Infinite Note 7. How you came by that name? You use your phone. Anyway, he says, some men resort to drinking and smoking to deal with stress. Is using alcohol and smoking marijuana the best way to deal with stress? Infinite Note 7. It is not the best way. It is the worst and deadliest way to deal with stress. That is the response to that answer. It is the worst and deadliest and the wafa to deal with stress if you decide to use marijuana and alcohol and all that. But your second question is interesting. That's why I like that question. That sex helped with dealing with stress. That is a fine question. So we'll start with that. Abna, would you start with that? That sex helped with dealing with stress?
Oh.
Abna, did you hear me?
Part of what you said, because the system was waving.
Yes, I was wrong.
Abna, go ahead.
Yeah. Does sex help in dealing with stress?
Yes, does sex help with dealing with stress?
Yes. Yes, to an extent. Yes, to an extent. So that I'm talking about between married couples, where we are able to talk about the stresses, and then I come home and I'm stressed. Yes, sex also releases certain hormones that also help the body. So yes, sex helps in dealing with stress. However, some people engage in what I would call compulsive sex when they are stressed. And that I do not believe helps with stress, because it's just like they are engaging in something to feel a certain, replacing alcohol with sex, just to feel a certain high. That one is detrimental. But within the confines of a relationship, where we are able to communicate. Remember, communication is very, very important. Even though sex is also concerned part of communication. Communicating with each other is very, very important. So if we're able to discuss the issues and then at the end of the day, we have sex, it promotes bonding, it releases certain hormones that I said counteracts the effects of the other hormones that stress releases. So yes, sex plays a part in helping us deal with sex.
Dr. Adam, would you like to top it up?
Oh, thank you very much. This question is very, very interesting. And I second what Dr. Abner had said, that it helps to release stress. But you see, you can't also have sex every day. That's because I'm going through stress. Every day you're having sex, you'll be tired. And if there's a problem, please let's solve the problem. You've got to take loan from the downfall. You've got to take loan from men's gold or airports. They are chasing you. You come home, you are under stress, and you are having sex. You will be crying. You don't even enjoy what you are doing. So, of course, sex can be good. It helps you to release stress, your hormones, and everything. But you can't use that as a substitute. You have to face your fears. Whatever problem you are going through, because of course you can have good sex and enjoy it when your mind is at peace. Your mind is not at peace and you are having sex, no problem. After the sex, the problem will come and face you. So it is good as a stress reliever, but we should try not to use it as the only way of managing sex, of managing stress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So Infinite Note 7. Solve the problem, communicate, let there be peace and harmony, and enjoy your thing. And enjoy it. However, great presentation. More of this virtual meeting should be available this year. That is what we intend to do, however. Hawaii 9, great presentation, thanks. Thank you for the compliment. Belinda, please, the slides. There are no slides, Belinda. Jones, Finn, great presentation. Thank you, Jones. Juliana Sechibia, thank you very much, senior colleagues, for this great presentation. I have really learned a lot. Thank you, Juliana, for your compliment. Emilia Kumi, thanks for the presentation. Thank you for the compliment. Sadia Yakubu, this is a great topic, and I think this topic should be revisited. Please, is there a YouTube link for me to go through it again? Yes, go on YouTube, just type in the topic of this seminar. It will be there by then, on Monday. All others that we've done. In fact, this is the 17th one, different topics that we've done. So when you type it in, others will pop up and you are at liberty to enjoy all of them. Infinite Hot 10, please, my email address is, and I don't know what you want me to do with that. Christina, thanks so much for this presentation. It's been helpful. Normally, these forums don't come free. Yes, indeed, this one is free. That is why we actually want to take it to another level, making it more exciting, more informative, and of course, you benefit. That is why earlier on I said that subsequently we are going to create 2 links. One of them you would have to register, the other you can join for free. So the one that you register will use that data to go asking for CPD and all that, so that we can benefit from this, and there'll be more information, more experts would come on. So when we ask you to register, please do not hesitate, register, and we want to take this thing to the next level. Daniel, thanks for the insight. You are welcome, Daniel. Zifanu Segbefia, thanks so much for this presentation. I've learned a lot. Thank you. Rejoice. Daniel. Rejoice Manini. I want to be Daniel's friend. Daniel. Rejoice says she wants to be your friend. Hallelujah. This seminar is going to solve a problem. Okay. So Daniel, before we go off, go and look for Rejoice Manini, then communicate privately. You are two adults. Galaxy A11. Bridget Moke, great presentation. Thank you very much. Grateful insight. You are welcome. Jones Finn. Jones is asking a question. How should a relationship that is very stressful and poses danger should be resolved to prevent more stresses? Oh, I think we've discussed that one. We've discussed that one long ago. If it's very stressful and it poses danger, we've mentioned all that you need to do to communicate, do a self-assessment, know that there's a problem. Know that there's a problem. Most importantly, communication. Communication is the beginning of everything. Know that there's a problem. Take care of yourself. And I mean, you would, and again, if you missed all that, hopefully by Monday, it will be on YouTube. Just type in the title of this presentation and it will be all there too.
Doctor said, when you have it by yourselves, and thankfully, now there are many trained counseling psychologists, some with specialty in marital counseling, like seek appropriate help, you know, because you're going around in circles, yet you can have a third person declutter whatever is going on. Don't wait until it's too late. I often encourage people not to take it to their families first, especially if it's really messed up, because family people have a vested interest in their not independent people. They are not.
This sound, is it my problem? Awesome.
Yeah, I cannot hear it.
Well, Dr. Dixon has dropped off, but basically what she was saying is seek for help, because you cannot go around the issue. It's important to seek for help. Again, do not take the issues to the family, because they have a vested interest. So they'll be biased in whatever suggestion or anything that they are going to give you. But there are a lot of counselors around. There are a lot of counselors around who would give you their professional advice. So take advantage of them. Okay. Sikatete, he's making a comment, a point. Well, he says, from a humble point of view, being in a relationship is not always the answer to loneliness. There are people in relationships who are extremely lonely. Happiness is not dependent on someone else. Yes, that is true, because you need to be ready to be in that relationship. So if you are not ready and you get yourself into it, you'll be there, but you are lonely and you are not happy. So you need to be ready to be in it. Agams, he says, for sure, Abna, please respond to this one for me. How do I deal with a nagging wife? At a point, I don't want to go home after work.
How do I deal with a nagging wife? Adam, perhaps there's an issue that she would like to sit down and talk to you about, which you are avoiding. So it will come across as she is nagging. Again, as Dr. Erickson was saying, you can seek counseling if you feel that you are not able to handle what is happening yourself. Because Going home after work, after I've been stressed at work, we all like to go home to a place where it is warm, that we are able to take off the stress. So sometimes it helps to have a person come in. Sometimes we are so close to the issue that we are not able to, as it were, look at the substantive issues. All we are emoting. She's stressed, she's just nagging, you come home, the stress is running off you, so you might as well stay at work. So sometimes it helps to have a third person. And in saying a third person, it helps to have a professional somebody. As Dr. Erickson was saying earlier, when you are in front of taking all your issues to the family, they have a vested interest. And after the issue has passed, or after the two of you have been able to deal with the issue, and it is passed, remember, the family will not forget. So they might as well hold that issue against your husband forever when you have forgiven. So sometimes it helps to have a third person, a third professional somebody to help with the issue. So Adam, I believe there's an underlying issue that your wife wants to discuss. If for that reason you are not able to go home, it helps to seek professional assistance to get to the substantive issues so that you can both discuss it in a healthy environment and come to a compromise. Again, communication is very, very, very important. Let's come to a healthy environment. Let's see how best we can build on the issues moving forward, because you can't run away from the house forever. Eventually, the stress of it will also start getting to you on all the other physical whatever domain. What are you doing outside? Are you spending thinking, or eventually you also find somebody else to try and see if you can get some form of control somewhere else. So staying at home, staying away from the house is not the best. Let's find a way to talk about the issues that you feel your wife is talking about. I believe there's an underlying issue there somewhere.
Well said. Thank you, Abna. So if you want, all of them are psychologists. So if you want to be in touch with them, chat with them privately. And if they are okay with it, they could give you their number and you could continue the counseling from that point. So Grace Lavi says, sex should be done in the right environment to get the benefit of it. If not, then it becomes more stressful to the other partner. Well, that is true. That is true. And Dr. Larry Afutu also has made a good point. He says, under stress, some people lose interest in sex. Erection may be difficult for some men when under stress. That is true. Really?
Yeah.
So you can, so in short, sex cannot be a stress reliever. You need to deal with the issues first and enjoy it. Felix Walano, thanks for the presentation. God bless you, or God bless you too. Thank you. Isaac Osei, please, the YouTube handle again. Just go on YouTube, type the title of this presentation, and it will pop up, hopefully by Monday. Nyamitiase, please contact one of our psychologists. Nyamitiase is saying, I'm having a challenge. I'm broke up with my girlfriend on mutual grounds, but the lady is refusing to leave me. She keeps telling me she can't leave me. And so she's always go extreme in doing a whole lot of things with me. This is causing more harm. How can I manage this? Nyamitiase, please contact all of them. All the three are psychologists, good ones. Contact them in direct chat, and they would be more than happy to help you. Please try and do the presentation on the mobile phone in marriage, please. Christiana, I'll see. Patience, I think, Patience says, are we going to have CPD points? Not at the moment. We are working around to do that. That is why later on we'll be asking you to register and all that. We want to have that data and see how best we can be able to provide that CPD, but currently it is not. Galaxy A71. he wrote to me directly, even if weed should be a remedy, what happens to those of us who are not relatively compatible with smoking? Even if weed should be a remedy, what happens to those of us who are not relatively compatible with smoking? The weed is not good. The weed is not good. Galaxy, the weed is not good. It's deadly. Hey, my brother, it's not good. Patience Atta, very helpful. Rejoice Banini. Rejoice. When I said hallelujah, she said amen. Okay. Daniel also says, thanks, Rejoice. You people should connect at the back door. You adults. Abigail, to everyone, please, what is the title of this presentation? Abigail, I'm pretty sure you saw the flyer, so it's all there. Question to you. This phone matter, Dr. Dami, this phone matter, and there are a lot of messages here that I have not read, but I think that we've done good justice to the topic today. We've done good justice. I have made a few notes that if you want to manage your stress in the relationship, most importantly is communication. Most importantly, that is what I think. Most importantly, communication. Talk about it. Know that there is a problem, because the moment the sign shows, know that there is a problem and talk about it. Do a self-introspection. Be honest to yourself and do that introspection. Take care of yourself, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and all that. And again, you should manage the expectations of our partners. If you have high expectations and what is delivered is low, it's going to cause that. So manage your expectation. Be realistic as possible. Be realistic. Not too ambitious to create problems for you. Be realistic. Consider the current prevailing conditions and set plans for yourself that are realistic. If it becomes too much, you may stress yourself because you'll be wondering how you're going to do it. And find time to click after. There are a whole lot of things going on in your head. You be too, now you're free. That is what I've not said. And do not keep secrets. Try to avoid keeping secrets from your partners. That is where the phone matter came in. But this phone matter is another discussion for another day. Dr. Dami, we have to talk. And I'm now, the three of you, we have to talk behind and see what we can do to this phone discussion. But I'm very sure that we'll see how it goes. And if you want to avoid the stress and manage with it, don't compare your partner negatively with others. Don't compare your partner negatively with others. So on this occasion, I would allow my facilitators to make their final comments. I will let them tell you that it is important to seek for help. I'll let them tell you that it is important to seek for help. So let me start with you, ladies first. Abna.
Dr. Arthur, I didn't hear that what you said. If you could please repeat yourself for me.
Your final comments, my dear.
Dr. Arthur, I did not. Oh, okay. Final comments. Yes, as I said, communication is very, very important in managing our stress in relationships. Can we run away from stress? No. Even these days, the dead are not being spared stress, causing them to sit up and stand up and all that. Stress is part of life. However, being able to work through your stresses and build healthy coping mechanisms is what we can do. One of the most important parts is communicating. Communicate with your spouse. Be realistic. Let them know what you expect. Don't expect people to read your mind. Be clear on what you want and then work through it. And at the end of the day, we should all realize that after all the plans have been made, what happens is life. So we should also be very, very realistic and then mindful. Exercise, eat well, take good care of yourself, and then rest when needed. The body also needs to take rest. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Dr. Dixon, are you there? She might have dropped off. Oh. Okay, Dr. Dami, take it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Atta. What I will say is that we need to understand that your mind is your health. Whatever you want can affect your health. So as individuals, we should think about good things so that good things will really come to us. And also we should have it in mind that we should seek for the right professional help whenever we are going through any forms of problem. Because at any point in time, everybody has a solution to a problem, but only one would be the best. So anytime we are going through stress or any forms of psychological problems like depression or anything, we should seek for professional help, and we should think positively every day of our lives so that we can manage stress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. According to the flyer, we are supposed to close at 1:30 and it's now past 2. We've extended the time by 30 minutes because we were late in starting. And so I wouldn't like to waste much of the time. That is why you have to end this, and I could not read some of your comments and questions. My apologies, but that's how we can do. So on this occasion, before we go, those of you who are interested in talking to the psychologist, they will stay on for a bit, chat with them directly, and you can take their contacts. You need help for yourself, for someone, do it now. Do it now. So let me thank all of you for being part of today's program. You've made it worthwhile. You've made it really worthwhile. I want to thank you for joining. Let me also thank our facilitators, Dr. Dame, Abna Fusua, and Dr. Dixon, very, very, very much. They are always ready to be part and facilitate. Thank you so much for doing justice to the topic. I mean, it's been quite helpful from the comments that we received. I have learned a few things. Not to stay at work pretending to be working when there is stress at home. I should go home and go and talk about it. So I will do just that. So thank you so much, all of you, for being part of today's program. God willing, next month. And Valentine is coming in about 2-3 weeks. Valentine is coming. We'll be sharing a flyer. Show your love flyer. It's a video. Please share with your networks as usual. And all our flyers that and this thing is free. So share it with as many people as you can, and they are allowed to join. We have unlimited capacity. So please do that. Okay, so thank you very much for joining. My name is Dr. Yawamanko Arthur. God willing, next month we would meet again with another interesting topic. And when you get the flyer, feel free to share them and invite them to join. Thank you very much. Have a very good afternoon. The program has ended.
Thank you, Dr. Atta.
I'm not going to end it now. You can chat behind closed doors and get the information that you want from our psychologist. I'm also here. If you want to chat directly with me, that's also fine.
And yet, also it's a very long to confirm say we not better disparity if you are 2 days, but you get one say the answer is very much. That's what we use for that. They say they're very representative. Yes, I will.
Nicola. Doctor.
So I did too many days from Monday to the days.
Obana phone.
Yes.
When you media. This is 7.